name is LaKenya, and this is my podcast, Yes or No. And I have a special guest, Athena.
I am Athena Williams. I wrote the Black Book of Sigils. I am an intuitive creator and an energy worker.
Like the first time I came across sigils before I met you, like right before, and I saw sigils, and it was someone made one for for business success.
Mm.
Right? And I was drawn to it. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna try it. And I put it on my left hand. No, I'm not kidding you guys. The next day, like one of our clients that we have, he hired us when they first moved out here in Los Angeles from their warehouses. And that day, it might have been the next day, but it was soon after. He called me because he wanted to use us. They were doing something for recruitment people that are just specifically only hire for this company. That means they're going out and they're hunting a bunch of different companies, and they were doing like a worldwide search for janitorial companies, right? And usually when they do that, there's no favoritism. They just have people come in with different quotes and bids. He calls me and he's like, we're going to start this nationwide search for janitorial companies, which impacts my company because that means they're calling all these people in to get different quotes. Usually it just works off whoever has the lowest quotes. But he specifically told them, the person that was in charge of them, do not touch any parts of Southern California. And I was like, and so the guy called me and he goes, yeah, we're not touching anything. This is all, we want you to go out for all these contracts. And I was like, oh, what? This is like right after I do. So yeah. And then I started reading about chaos magic and I met Athena and I was like, oh my God, this whole world is built off of that.
They are.
It literally is. It's like, this is what we should be learning in school.
Oh, yes. My kids get in trouble because they come home from school with their own sigils that they made on their hands because they're kids
Oh,
and they're having a good time. And the teachers are like, stop drawing on your hands. And my kid's like, I feel like I need protection today. I'm like, oh,
okay.
I taught you well, but can you pay
Oh,
attention in
wow.
math class and wait till recess, maybe?
No, I think that's beautiful. I think I don't know why adult, and I think that's a big thing about schools. Like, I don't know why you would get that. I would encourage that if I was a teacher. I'd be like, oh, that's beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of, and I get it. It's the whole system that it's built in, and I'm not judging it at all. I'm just saying that I feel like it's definitely based off like you listen to me, and it's like I'm telling you this, and you do what I say.
It's very authoritarian, yes, if I can use my words
So
right now. Authoritarian leadership rather than authoritative.
yeah, yeah, and that's just, and it's not even to judge. It's just that's what it is. But what I do think is beautiful is that your kids are rolling around drawing sigils on themselves. That's amazing to me.
They are.
You're a good mama.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
no, yeah. I mean, that's beautiful. The fact that they're not going to have this trauma from childhood, but on top of that, they're going to be empowered to understand how their energy works and how they can use the tools. That's like, you know what I mean?
I,
Like,
I do.
that's
Because
wealth right there.
whenever we talked about this prior, but I'll mention it here anyways. Whenever I'm having a bad day, I will sit there and my kid, one of them will come up to me and be like, Mom, did you call your energy back to you? Maybe somebody else is in your energy right now. And I absolutely love that because it takes me out of that headspace of it's such a bad day and I can't do this to wait, is somebody in my energy? Did I let something come in that I don't want?
Mm,
And my kids are there to remind me. So when they're having a bad day, I do the same thing. I'm like, have you called your energy back to you? You know, when they get the spiraling thoughts, just like we all do, of what if I do this or what if this happens or how, all of that anxiety or looking back and saying, well, I said that thing and it was probably not smart. So now these people think I'm stupid and nobody likes me. Instead of spiraling that way, we can just say we call our energy back to us and then kind of move on with protection, add a sigil, throw in one if you feel felt, like if you feel the pull, or just keep rolling with it. And
yeah,
but
yeah.
I do have sigils above every doorway in my house,
I love that.
and they're all drawn in chalk. I have to go through them again because I will erase them and feel how the house is moving.
Oh, wow. So as things change and what you feel is more needed,
And
like,
if I have people that come in, it's funny because depending on which sigil I have there, people will come in and leave right away. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess you didn't want to stay. And it's not anything that has to be ill intent, but I really just don't like I don't like intruders that I don't see as intruders. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like it just doesn't align. It's not
Right.
aligned with your intention. So it makes a lot of sense. So if it's not in alignment, that would be yeah, because you set the intention so people come in. Already your energy is so powerful. So people already are like, it's beautiful. Um, and people are coming in your home. So you want to make sure and you feel like I know I'm just saying also I'll speak for myself. I feel and see things. So it is important that we keep our energy fields knowing what someone else's and you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean any ill intent, it just means like nah. And it
But if you want to have fun and you have two ways into your house or more,
Mhm.
draw sigils on one, put an intention on one, and watch how many people gravitate towards the other door.
Oh, that's interesting. I never thought about that. Oh yeah.
I am probably the most skeptical person out there, and I said none of this exists. It's not true. And I'm over here as far to the side as possible because I did start with that. It's like if sigils are true, every
Mhm.
that everyone comes in this door. So I'm going to put all of my protection on this door. I
Mhm.
watched the next day, not a single soul walked through that door. They all came over to the front door. And I was like,
That makes so much sense though. Wait, you know what's so interesting to me? Because you have such a beautiful balance. Like you are skeptical, but at the same time, you are spiritual.
thank
Like you,
you.
you know what I mean? It's like you're going to test whatever it is, and it is what just it is. But like, yeah, it's like you're not skeptical enough to not believe. And you get me because I don't have no rhyme or reason for nothing. I just be like, I don't know, Athena, we should just jump off this building right now and just fly. I just feel like we're gonna fly. And you'd be like, well, we
Well,
can
let's astral project and do it. We'll see what happens.
let's
Water signs, water signs. If
yes,
it's
let's
not a
just
water
see.
sign, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, so they'd have to be like more like my husband's an earth sign, so he's a Taurus. So, and I feel like my daughter's a Taurus, but she's got some of her mama in her, so she's a little. But like my husband would be like, okay, well, do you have your wingspan long enough? Do you have to, you know what I mean? Like, is the wind blowing north? I'm like, who gives? Let's just jump and figure all that out later. Do you know what I'm saying? I think you kind of have to be in this field anyway, though. I don't think you can question too much.
I don't know. With my background, I was a math teacher. I had the scientific process down of how to do it and how to do it well and how to make sure everything worked out. And it's a thing, but when you work with energy like you do and like I do, test it yourself.
Yeah.
Feel it. If you feel great about it, that's wonderful. If you don't feel great about it, then it's not where you need to go.
Do you feel like the math, being a math teacher, has helped you with the sigils, like the science part? Trying
No. No, I was very rigid at one point,
to.
but I wanted to be more authoritative with people so that they could get the same. I always wanted to teach. I knew that much.
Mhm.
I just couldn't figure out what to teach.
Oh, okay, that makes
So, as a math teacher, I taught 7th through 12th grade, and I can't say I was the same person as I am now. I wanted everybody to get it, but I couldn't figure out how to explain to everybody
mm,
that the path that they were told to go on may not be their path. And as a teacher, you're supposed to push people through to a certain path. I always I always questioned my kids as when they would say, I want to go to college, I'd say, what for? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, shouldn't you find out? Like, don't you think that's important? Um, and not to be mean, not to be rude. I'm not saying people shouldn't go to college by any means.
right.
But I feel like those that are led to go to college have a path for a reason.
Yeah.
And most of them are like, my mom's a teacher, my grandfather's a teacher, I want to be a teacher. So they go into the teaching field and then they figure out they don't like teaching.
Yeah.
Or they say, my uncle's a lawyer, my grandma's a lawyer. I know that I'm supposed to be a lawyer. And then they go into that field because that's what they were taught that they needed to do.
It's what's expected. Like society tells you, do this, do that.
And others, oh, we lost that again. Others go in and they really do know what they want to do. And it's amazing because they're like, I've been in the vet area, I've worked at the veterinarian clinic for years, and I really know that I want to be a vet. those are the ones that I really encourage to go to college because they've been in that field. They know what's expected of them.
Yeah. That
I'm
makes
not, yeah, go ahead.
no, no, that makes sense what you're saying.
So I don't discourage anybody, but I want people to think for themselves, why am I going? Is it just because college sounds fun? Or am I getting this job just because somebody in my family does it? Or am I doing what I love to do?
Yeah. What lights you up?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were literally talking about that earlier today with my cousin. I was telling her, I was like, we were talking about, I was like, you are money. I know
Yeah.
it sounds crazy to people when I say that. I'm like, you are the money. Because even if you're bartering, because she's like, we are talking about a bartering system, I'm like, that's still money. It's an energy exchange. Like my grandpa used to say, like, money is a means for exchange. That's all it is. You are that exchange. You are money. So if you do what you love, like you're saying, and like you don't just go along a path, because you can be whatever they expect you to be, someone expects you to be, and make a lot of money doing it, but are you going to be fulfilled? Like spiritually happy, spiritually fine? You know what I mean? But
I
when
do.
you do what you love and what lights you up, you're in alignment. Everything comes to you. Everything works easily. I don't know how else to say that. And I was gonna say, well, what about this? What about that? I'm like, well, you can think about all, and that's another water sign too. You know how we are. We're just like, we're just doing it. I don't know what to tell you. It's just gonna work out for us. That's just what it is. So there's no rhyme or reason. Which is it's just it. That's why it's so fun. Like you were a math teacher. That's so interesting to me. I love that because you have both sides. Again, you have that beauty of both sides of it all. I don't know that I don't know that it's a bad thing. I wanted to. I literally wanted to study in school, and I was like, I really want to get this, but I would just be thinking about like how many butterflies and what does that sign mean, and why is it 222 outside? Do you know what I mean? Like, I really tried. It just didn't. I think that's a beautiful thing. It makes sense of why you could use your energy that you use to put into this book, because that's like, I mean, I understand, and for those of you who do spiritual work and work with energy, that's already a task amongst itself. Like that takes a lot out of you to do that. But on top of that, you're creating and giving birth to a whole book, 15, 20
I
hours a
do
day.
the same thing with podcasts, and it's just so exciting to watch you do it. I love being part
Oh,
of
I
this.
love you. Oh, thank you, Athena. I really appreciate you. Well, it helps when I have beautiful people like you. Um, yeah, it is like I know. You know what? You do it like show up and everything else makes sense. And having sigils and having your book and people being able to use these tools to do that, because that's what it does. It gives you tools to do what like you up. To get rid of the things you don't want, to banish the stuff that you don't need anymore, which a lot of us have it through our ancestral stuff. I know, like the other day, can I say this? You were doing the energy work that we were doing
Yes, go
the other day.
ahead.
Um, she did some energy work on me, and it was so. It's called can I say this? Is it emotional coding? And right before she did it, I did some shadow work with my dad. And then Athena comes along and does this emotional coding. She has no idea that I did the shadow work. And she did some movement, and it happened to be with my father. And I was like, so to have these tools and people like you use them, it's like, I would love to see like a school like this. Do you know what I mean? That would be like my dream to have, like how we were talking about the other day, is to have this retreat or have a place that people can go and have emotional encoding, do healing sessions,
You can
understand about
actually
sigils.
find those on my website as well.
Oh, you can.
Yes,
Okay.
you can buy sessions through with me.
Oh, you can do. Okay. Wait. Say your website so people are you're on your site. Your name. Okay.
So working on revamping my website. I haven't got there yet. That's a lot of energy work in and of itself.
You
It's
did.
called whispersofelders.com.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's beautiful.
So that's kind of, if you see my stuff back here, it all started with bath salts and I make deodorant,
Oh my gosh, Athena, that's amazing. Do you know how badly I need to look for? Okay, I'll have to look at your stuff.
essential oils that help
Oh, it's
for
beautiful.
allergies and everything. I also make salves and lotions for your face so that it's a lot. It's a lot. I do a lot.
No, that's
That's
beautiful.
what started this whole thing. And I would love to be able to teach those how to do those. So we
Mhm.
use, I say we, it's really just me and whoever I rope in at the time, kind of my kids most of the time. But we go find things like St. John's wort or plantain or singing nettle, anything along those lines. We'll make salves out of it.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
those help with healing our physical ailments as well.
Which is all a total package between the schools. Having all those things are very, it's just crazy to me. They're just, I just don't understand. Like when I started learning about all this stuff and the sigils and started learning about all these different things in the SAS, like learning about how they work, I'm like, isn't this the stuff that we should be learning in school?
Mhm.
It's like, because then you wake up and you deconstruct, and I think we talked about that. It's like, I went through this whole angry phase where I was like, oh my God, everything's upside down.
It is.
I got to start all over again. Because it was like everything I thought I learned, for me anyway, it doesn't have to be like that for everybody else. I was like, I got to understand who I am and myself. And that makes sense of like why. And I feel like the sigils in the book that you have, what I love about it is that you can kind of create your own as you go along if it doesn't align with you. But I don't
Mhm.
see how it would, no, because I feel like they do. But if you wanted to, and it gives you like the different herbs and the different crystals to work with, which are important. Because I feel what the reason why I'm saying this is because all of those elements, the crystals, the frankincense, or whatever herb you're going to use, all of those things became relevant for me when I had my huge awakening. All of them,
Yeah.
every last one of them. So I feel like all those are like to have that in a book is really an amazing tool, like you can use.
It's so helpful. And what happened for me to get into all of this, maybe now that there's light, you can see, maybe not, maybe it got worse.
There it goes right there. I can see now. Okay.
But my kids used to have really, really bad eczema,
Oh wow.
just horrible. And I tried everything under the sun. I went to the doctor so many times, and they're like, take this cream, take this cream, take this pill, take this cream. I'm like, my kid's all drugged up, and he's not even 5 yet. Like, this is not going to work for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I started doing research and stuff like tallow.
Oh,
And I now make lotion bars out of tallow and I'll use them for my face. I love them. I started working with people that were mechanics and they always have those dry, cracked hands or the nasty elbows. I'm sure everybody knows at least one person like that. And they couldn't figure out how it just worked so well. And it wasn't greasy and it wasn't sticky and it wasn't too much. So I wanted to make sure that my kids were not filled with the toxins that I was as a kid.
that's huge because that was another thing I had when I had the twins. When I was pregnant with them, I just knew that I was going to have kids that were going to speak or talk later vocally, but it also made me go on this thing of like what I was giving them because I feel like their bodies, like this world is made for not for kids that are neurodivergent, and the things that they are made for them inflame them in their brain, everything else. It's funny because when I do these questionnaires when we go to the doctor and stuff, I'm like, is this movie about me? Because I'm like, I think I just never, no one ever told me I was. Do you know what I mean? Because it makes sense a lot of the foods and stuff. So I just kind of followed what was inside of me and I had no rhyme or reason, but I definitely wanted to look at the foods that they were eating, what caused inflammation, all the processed crap that was like you just said, they had definitely had the eczema on, especially my son, he had it really bad on his face. So I went into a whole natural thing where I was like, I put all kinds of different herbs together. I was like, and I just did, and again, I had no rhyme or reason. I didn't research anything. I just thought this works, this works. That's kind of how I picked it out. But to
And
have,
your ancestors spoke to you beautifully, didn't they?
that's exactly what it was. Cause I don't know. And then his skin is beautiful. Like you would never know. And I'm like, okay, it worked. But it's nice that you are doing all of these things and selling. Are you okay? So are you offering this? Are you selling it on your website? Are you going to be doing it?
I would like to do it in bulk.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's hard for me. I have between 40 and 60 different products that I can sell. I
Okay.
have them in stores right now where I live, but to keep inventory in a small house
Mhm.
is a lot.
Yeah.
If I had a warehouse, that'd be a whole different story, but we're not quite there yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if somebody bought bulk, then yes. Or if they
Yeah.
emailed me and they're like, hey, I would like at least so many of this or so much of this.
Oh, okay. That's good to know though. And buying in bulk is better for people anyway, because especially when I find something that I really like that's holistic or like it's natural, you want to buy it in bulk because you don't know if you're gonna see it again.
Right? Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like I literally the stuff I find, I'm like, let me buy this in bulk because I don't even know if this is gonna be here tomorrow because I'm sure someone will come along with something. I don't know. But so that would be okay. I'm gonna have to look and see.
I make some stuff. It's called Joint Joy. It helps your joints
Oh,
move. And I've had so much success with that. Like people who are knitters and they're older, of course. And they have these, she said that her knuckles, she'd wake up every morning and her hands were stuck like this. and she couldn't
Oh,
do anything. She said, I told her to put the joint joy on, put gloves on because it has cayenne pepper in it. So you don't want to accidentally touch anything while you're sleeping. But I told her to put gloves on while she sleeps and let me know how she feels when she woke up. And she said that she woke up and she could move her fingers almost instantly. It was beautiful.
wow.
I had a friend of mine that had a torn meniscus, and that's a ligament in your knee if you guys aren't aware. And she said that she put the joint joy and the sunshine on together, and it took her about a month, but she didn't have to wear a knee brace anymore.
Well, is that not crazy to you? That like it, do you know what I mean? Because this stuff like really works. Like this natural stuff like really, and I try not to go down the rabbit hole because if I go down the rabbit hole, then I don't want to hold any anger because I want to make sure my Merkaba is acting, is circulating properly. So I had to walk in love. So I can't go down that rabbit hole. But I just think to myself, like I was at a store and they were saying, the store that I go to and there's a lot of holistic stuff in there. But anyways, long story, it's like a little very small store. And you know what soursop is? I'm sure
I
you.
do.
And they get it there. And this guy came in and he was buying soursop for his friend who went through like she was going through chemo and he wanted her to have soursop. And I was reading about soursop leaves. Do you know they're like, I can't remember, like, what is it, 10,000? I don't remember exactly the numbers, but I know it's crazy, more effective than chemotherapy. That's my, so, and I guess there's no money in it for people. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you hear, like, even with your kids with eczema, the fact that you were like, as a mama, like, I'm going to change this.
I remember reading the lotion bottle and saying, I could never make lotion because I don't even know how to pronounce half of this.
I don't even know what was in it. I don't even know half the things that are in half the, like that's what like I have this little app thing. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's called Bob's Fruit. Have you ever heard of it before? It's like a little app that you have. And sometimes I don't want to scan stuff because I'm like, damn, I can't eat nothing. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, what? And it says may cause inflammation. I do it for the babies a lot too because I just want to make sure their system is not inflamed because I can tell like when that happens. So I do it all the time, but like, yeah, it'll tell you like it's inflamed, cause inflammation. And then another thing, it's so important that the stuff that you're talking about is because I have one of my best friends. She was saying to me, I remember she never wanted to use like sugar scrubs on her body, like,
Mhm.
and I was like, at the time, I didn't know, I wasn't aware, and I was like, why? But she goes because your skin is your biggest organ, and I was like, and then it was like years later, I was like, oh. Oh my God. Because just because you're not eating it, you're still consuming it and you're putting it through your skin, which is your biggest organ. So
Yep.
scrubbing yourself with certain salts or like that are not organic or not healthy for you or doing sugar scrubs, is that not, yeah, I don't know. It's reevaluation. That's what I read.
It's it gets a lot of people because it goes against our programming.
Yeah.
And I can tell you personally, I have had to fight my programming tooth and nail because I will learn something and then everything that I learned prior needs readjusted.
Yeah.
And it's hard because trying to go forward with this new information and getting kicked back every time because you're like, well, I've always used fluoride in my toothpaste. Why wouldn't I? I'm not worse off.
Oh my gosh.
And then you keep going down the rabbit hole and you're like, oh, oh. And
Oh,
it kind of, I won't let my kids, they've never, I can't say never, but we haven't used fluoride in our house for almost 9 years. Any
yeah.
fluoride, water or other. They're a totally different breed of kid.
Fluoride is like one of the biggest things that when I came across with the for the tens, I'm so glad I listened. I mean, I always tell Faith, I always apologize to my oldest one because I didn't know this stuff then. And I mean, everything is how it's supposed to. We're always protected, right? Yeah. When I looked at fluoride, I was like, so it's a neotoxin.
Hmm.
And you want me to brush my teeth with it every day
Hmm.
in the morning before I go somewhere. I was like, uh, and then on top of that, I started thinking about, every year you went to the dentist and you got a fluoride rinse. I was like, wait, that's when I just realized that it's not about like I think a lot of people get into it, and I had that too. Like, and so I'm not at all judging, but I know like when you awaken, and well, for me anyway, and you start to see yourself, you start to become the observer in this world. For me, the way that I needed to create things in my world. That's it. Because if you start getting into it, you'll be pissed. I mean, especially when it comes to our kids, because you're just like, wait, what? I remember I had a dentist that we went to a dentist and she's supposed to, well, anyways, we went to her and she was like, I go, well, I don't want to use fluoride. And she was like, And I thought she would have been on board because she works with kids who are considered to be neurodivergent. And I was like, and I don't even like that word, so I probably won't be saying that. But anyways, I said this for context, I guess, what people, because I think we're all on a spectrum. I don't understand why people say that in the first place, but whatever. But she was like, yeah, we use fluoride. She was like, it's just a very, I go, isn't there a neotoxin in there? And she goes, it's a very small amount. And I was like, oh, okay. I see what's gonna have to happen here because if I'm gonna have my Merkaba spinning, y'all, and not be stuck in this place of anger, I had to just go, you know what? Like you said, you just have to create your own stuff and find people like you that are doing the whole, that's so important. It's so important.
I would love to create a book so everybody has my recipes and they can just go do it
Yeah,
themselves.
that's a good idea. You should absolutely, you will.
Well, that with the other four that's coming out, along with the kids' sigils that I want to do. Like it's,
Oh, I love that. You're gonna do the kid. Okay, wait. The kid sigils.
I
Like,
do. I want to do a kids' sigil book.
oh my God, that's amazing. I think that's so empowering for these kids because they're a different breed. They're not gonna be like us where they're like easily programmed. Like, I was listening to this dad and he was like, if you have kids in this generation, they're coming for everyone. They're not gonna be quiet. They're not going to be settling for anything. They have opinions and they want answers, and you're going to have to be there to answer them. And I was like, damn, he's right. I mean, even now, even with my kids not like fully using their word, like, do they question me every day? Absolutely. If my energy is off and I walk in a room, my queen looks at me and she goes, she wants nothing to do with me. She'll just be like, I'll be like, dang, okay, let me go straighten my energy out. You know?
Right, right.
Mhm.
Um, I'm with you on that with our kids. And I was talking to mine and I said, listen, it's my job to heal my line of
Mhm.
generational curses, like where it's stopping with me, so that my biological, my oldest is my biological, only has to deal with his dad's side. I understand I can't heal his dad's side. That's his job.
Mhm.
But if he already has 50% of it done, he's 50% ahead of where I was.
You
So,
know what I'm saying? That's a big step.
my other is not my biological, but I still raised him like my own because he is my own. I've had him since he's been 11 months old.
Oh,
And I said, baby, I said, I can break my generational curses biologically down. I said, but it's your job to break those.
wow.
You have that step that you can fix this.
Oh, wow.
And he looked at me and he said, Mom, I can do this. And I said, I know, baby. When I was in college, side note, um, I don't know
Oh.
if you guys ever saw Up, but squirrel, I am that person. When I was in college, I would have to write a research paper and it would have to be 10 to 12 pages long. I am a procrastinator. I know me. I knew me back then. And I would wait till the day of to write my 12-page research paper. And having that high energy, knowing I had to write a 12-page research paper in 5 hours, which is just crazy, um, I would walk into the computer lab to write it and get it done, and every computer would shut down. Every
Uh,
single one over and over and over to the whole point that the whole computer lab would not work.
oh, wow.
And I couldn't, I didn't know I carried so much energy back then. I just was really angry because I
Mm,
needed a
mm.
computer at the time. And
Amplifies it.
what's that?
Anger amplifies it. Like when we get frustrated, yeah, it
Yeah,
amplifies. But that's how powerful you are. That's a beautiful thing. Now that you can look at it, you're like, oh, now I see why that happened.
I can, and it makes me giggle
Yeah. But look
because
at what you're doing with it, though. It's such a beautiful thing. You're a healer. Like you're healing other people. Like you're creating things and giving people tools that may not have necessarily have known about them. Like I had no idea what the heck sigils were, and I'm like, what is this? I just got to download. But I was supposed to. I guess I shouldn't say I was awakened to it to understand it. I'm sure I've known it in some lifetime. I'm
oh
sure we've
yeah.
been together.
Oh
I
yeah.
know we've been together in a lifetime. There's just we would never have come. I know that that's true. Like people say, I'm like, yeah, because it's funny. The more I'm embracing that, the more everything is like the people I go, oh, okay, I know you.
Well, whoever's listening, if you like shut down computers or cars or street lights or whatever else you're using, if you're angry, like that's a really powerful, amazing energy that you have. You're ancient.
Mm,
And you should, if you can, figure out how to channel it because it's fabulous once you actually figure out how to channel it. It's chaos when you don't. Like,
You're just like, I remember once, like I was at home and I was like, I realized that I had this energy. And I mean, we all do, but how my energy worked. And I was sitting on the back of my door, like something happened in my house. I grew up in a household that was, there was a lot of trauma there, right? But I was really upset and I set my back against the door and there was like, I don't know, let's just say